Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rob Has a Podcast. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and we are here tonight to talk about this nomination episode of Big Brother Canada 11. It is the Renaissance, so watch your bouteilles and unpiss yourself because we're in for a wild ride. With me tonight to talk through it all is the man himself, Rob Cesternino. How you doing, Rob?
Well, I got dared to be here, and so I accepted the dare, and I'll be waiting for my 5,000 Wendy's points. I guess you get them whether or not you complete the dare.
Yeah, you could have just not shown up, and you still would have gotten the points.
Yeah,
you don't need to be here.
What are they for? We don't know. When will we find out? I don't know. The finale's in 2 weeks. Maybe that's gonna be the prize.
Maybe. Here to hopefully answer the question of does it matter if you get points if everyone gets points? It's Lovina. How you doing, Lovina?
Don't ask me, you guys, because before Rob said it, I was gonna say, what the hell do those points even do? We still do not know. Guys, I'm such a casual now. To be completely honest, I'm such a casual, but I feel like we all are, so that's okay. Happy to be here.
All right. And when I found out that Chantele was going to be on the podcast, I reacted like this. Chantele, how you doing?
Yes.
Taran, did you know that that's what I was going to come and complain about, the screaming this episode? Because, I was on after Santina one, and I was like, the screaming, and this one, so much screaming. I don't know if I'm getting old, too old for Big Brother, or as a casual fan, I can't get behind these screaming, but I'm happy to be here with you guys. But the screaming
Chantele,
was, out of control.
The issue is that you need to get older so that you can't hear those frequencies anymore.
Right. Absolutely. Exactly.
You're too
Turn
young
down
for
that
it.
hearing aid.
Well, we are, of course, again here for this nomination episode of Big Brother Canada 11, and no competition in this episode, but we did get a task, as Rob brought up, a task that I believe led to the first failure in the history of the show.
But what would have needed to happen for that to be a success? For him to be like, oh, I feel that same way too. What would be the successful part? Because she just had to ask somebody or tell somebody that she was interested in them.
I thought it was to convince somebody that you had a
convince.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Daniel responding with, Renee, this is suspicious.
Yeah. You wonder why she didn't go to tie with that one. Maybe.
I mean, I
know why.
Yeah.
You know why.
Or even a girly pop. That could have been I don't know.
I think that would have been fun. I think you go to Claudia or Shania and you're like, listen, you know.
But
that's what I wanted.
Can I complain for a second with Daniel? Super fan. Okay, obviously knows okay, this is a task. Don't you help the person complete the task? Don't you know there's probably a house party on the other side of this? Is there a downside where she's not going to unlock a secret power of veto or something?
I mean, at the end of the day, they still got their points. So maybe he thought this season seems kind of like this, and he read the room, I guess. I don't know. But they still got their points, whatever they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this isn't a new outcome. We've had tasks before where people pretty clearly didn't really believe what was happening, but they played along, which I think is the difference. But yeah, Daniel didn't want to play along here. I think
because it was so inane. There's no way that was happening. He's like, Renee, come on here.
Yeah.
I don't believe this. I think that if there's if it was something else where he could buy into it, he probably would have gone along, but it was just so out of left field and just not possible that you couldn't play along.
Did ChatGPT come up with the dare sort of independent of the gender dynamics in the house? So didn't really think it through.
Can we talk about the dares? Because the first two were nothing.
They were not even dares.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Did she have to
could
get
you-
multiple people to scratch her back, or was it just one? Because I didn't understand why she had more than one person scratching her back.
Yeah.
Could you imagine playing like Truth or Dare, and they're like, okay, you picked Dare. Oh, mistake. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Get someone to do your laundry. Like, remember when you were in
Aaron.
college and you got that
Yeah.
dare and it was like, oh my God, how am I ever going to do this?
Mhm.
Well, like maybe
Yeah.
it was like with all like your maybe lingerie pieces or undergarments, that could be a little bit
Right.
more awkward or a little bit more embarrassing. But just like, oh, can you just do my whites and make sure you have it on
She's like,
like, a
"Can you
cool
just run
setting,
this
like
for me?"
whatever.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because like also they're at a point in the house where it's like they're very comfortable with each other, so there's nothing out of the that's nothing out of the ordinary to be like, hey, can you like throw like my load of laundry in? Like that's pretty much the way that she framed it. So I don't know why they chose this one, but
Mhm. Yeah. It's also like, oh, like the HOH is asking me to do laundry. Like, yeah, I'll,
Yes,
yeah,
queen.
I'll do it. Yeah. You got it. Yes.
Yeah, pre-nom ceremony. Like, of course, you do your
Yes,
laundry.
no
Anything
problem.
else, I'll scratch your back. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now the
Mhm.
back scratching, I think, needed to be sort of like combined with like convince someone that you have some sort of like flesh-eating bacteria, or at least poison ivy, and then get them to scratch your back.
yeah, the
or
first-
or something like oh, get somebody to just like scratch your feet or something.
Oh.
Like, something
Oh
gross,
God,
you
no,
know?
we're
Like-
not going there. We're
Yeah.
not going there. The first thing I thought of,
Enzo's fans are excited.
oh God, I had washed it out of my brain, Rob. Why
Sorry.
is it back now?
Sorry.
You got feet, bidets, you know?
But the first thing I thought of was when Dan Giesling was hugging Jesse, but there was a time that he needed to hit, like what was like 20 seconds or something.
Oh, like
I
a
feel
long
like
time. Yeah.
if they had given Renee like a time, like he like Ty has to scratch your back for like 15 seconds, that is way funnier than just like, oh yeah, real quick. If he's like scratching it for like
Yeah, and then
moments,
he like
that's
goes to
weirder.
stop, and you're like, no, please, keep going. I just a little bit more, please. Yeah, like that's instantly way better.
It's like a dog pawing at you when you stop like petting them or scratching them. I mean, like that. Sorry, Renee.
Yeah, I don't know what the like. I mean, this.
Were these
I
the
think
best of them? Or were there like worse ones that got thrown out? Of,
Maybe.
like,
How could they be
garbage?
worse?
How could you choose these ones?
these are just so low effort. Not to mention, I don't think Renee was like the right person for this. Usually they're pretty good about picking like the right person to do these tasks. You know, Renee barely, because the only good task was convince somebody you have a crush on them, because that could lead to interesting scenarios. And she put zero effort into
Mhm.
into that one. She's like, yeah. So, turns out I have a bit of a crush on you, Daniel. It's like, I don't blame Daniel for not even trying to, like, how do you even play along
Yeah.
at that point?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
oh,
it's
really?
fun.
Go on. Yeah. Okay. Let's play this out. Yeah.
Like, I
Why
can't
did
just
they
wait to see
choose
like her
Renee?
mock trials for her law school, because I'm like, I don't know, like getting up in front of people and having like, you know, having to pretend to be a lawyer. I just don't know if that's going to work for her. Maybe she'll get better moving forward, but this time I didn't think that she won that battle.
I mean, I could see Renee being good. She has like a lot of like personality in the diary room. Talking about like my bouquet. Like you feel like that she has like that upside.
Well, you got to give her something that suits her personality, though. Like you know, like being pissed off or something, where it's like convince everyone that you're so mad at them that like you know you're gonna nominate that. Right? You know, it's not, I mean that's probably too game related, but like you know, play into like who Renee is beyond like what does having a crush on somebody have anything to do with Renee in this game?
Ooh, you know what would be good if they did like a Santina themed dare where they were like go up to somebody and say like I don't like how this food tastes or something like that, like something like harmless that'll start like
Yeah,
lightweight drama, like
convince
why wouldn't they
Anika
do
that
that?
you hate
Oh
her
my
Anika
Billy.
specifically. That's what I want.
Can I go back to Daniel doing the laundry? When Renee asked Daniel to do the laundry, she's like, "Oh yeah, could you put the laundry in there?" And he said, "Okay, just like normal, just like one pod." Do people do laundry and put more than one pod in the washing machine? I don't think that's recommended.
It says
Well,
it on
maybe
the
like
label.
a fabric softener as well being added to it, or some of those like balls that you can throw in to make things smell fresh or whatever. So
It
maybe
might-
just one pod, but maybe other things.
Yeah, other things
with-
on top of the pod.
Yeah.
Hold on, am I doing something wrong? Because
You put in multiple
It's-
pods,
You go
Lovina?
multiple pods?
so if you so like the Tide Pods, not sponsored, obviously.
Yeah.
Turn the pack around. It says if you have this level of
That's true.
like
Soil?
this
Pods,
stack
3,
of-
2, and 1. No,
Large
Exactly.
load is 2
if you have a
pods?
really large, extra large
Large
load,
load
you
of-
use
yeah.
more than one pod. That is true. I have
Yeah.
seen that on the
Oh yeah, they're saying
container.
large loads
Someone-
take 2 pods.
Someone back me up.
Okay. No,
I
I've never
feel
done
like I feel like this should have been like, you know, if we're fixing these dares, it should have been like the full course of laundry. It should have been you need to get somebody to like take your dirty laundry from wherever you put it and bring it to the wash and like do the whole thing and then fold it for you afterward. Like the whole process
And then
needs
be like,
to be done.
can you do this again?
Yeah, not just
Yeah.
like hand them the
Yes.
basket. Can you just dump this in and run it for me?
While you're
like,
doing your
yeah.
own laundry
Yeah.
right now.
I'm
Just
reading
like
the
be a
chat.
huge diva.
I think they're all you all using too much detergent. I watched a TikTok one time, and the TikTok said that you don't really need that much
MoneyGram?
detergent. I don't know who it was.
It's like shampoo. You're supposed to use
Yeah.
it like just a little bit, and like they're like, oh, do it twice. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
It's not good for your clothes, I think.
Oh my God, wait, no. Oh, that's crazy because I had a mouthwash that I used that said once a day. So I would use it at night. I repurchased it because I ran out. Suddenly it says 2 times a day. Where does
Yeah, they do that.
come
Yeah.
from?
You ever take 1 a day vitamins?
Right?
You're supposed to take 2.
It's
Soon
the-
it'll be like 5 times a day.
yeah,
Buy
they
mine.
want you to use it more, even though you don't have to, so that you have to buy more of it.
That's a lot of fluoride.
Mm-hmm.
Twice a day.
Right. And then you have daily drops, and they don't come out every day.
Yeah. Oh,
Have you inputted
boy.
anything into Chat GPT yet? So new dares?
Yes, I did, Chantele.
I would
All right. Are you interested in the costume parade? The player must dress up in a silly costume provided by production to give a fashion show for their fellow house guests. Better or worse than what we did tonight?
That's just a winner segment.
Yeah.
It would be
That's true.
really annoying. They did
Okay.
do that.
Well, how
It was
about
a
this
dare.
one? Compliment train, they call it. The player must go around the house and give genuine, heartfelt compliments to each house guest.
I think they've done that before, but that's
They
not
have.
bad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's, I mean, it's better than what we got.
Yeah. This one I like. It's called the impersonation game. The player must impersonate a fellow house guest for 30 minutes, mimicking their voice, mannerisms, and catchphrases.
That one.
That would have been good to do to Renee.
That's a
That's
good
a
one. Yeah.
To
Mhm.
Renee. Yeah.
I think
so,
it would be funnier if you were forced to do that, but then also like nobody could call you out on it.
yeah. There's human canvas. The player must allow their fellow house guests to draw temporary tattoos on their arms and or legs using washable markers provided by production. But I think that happened to Terrence last summer.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
His every take on me tattoo.
I think that happened. Was that in Direfest?
Was it Dire? I don't think it was
I
Dire
don't know.
Fest. They
It
was
was
doing
part
it
of
in
Direfest.
the.
I guess
think
the whole
it was a
a summer of festivals. They were all
was a-
festivals.
Punishment or something.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think it was a veto punishment or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the weird thing about that is that like, what if nobody wants to draw on you with marker? Like, if you were like,
Mhm.
all right, everyone gets to draw on me with
You're
marker,
like,
I'd be like, I'm good.
Nah.
Mhm.
Do they
Yeah.
want to draw on Terrence?
Yeah.
Well, you have to put them on himself.
Rico says before Direfest. Thank you.
Mm.
Good to know. Yeah.
That's it? These are all better.
Yeah, those are better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you know, maybe we need to get Chat GPT
On the
working
part of
for that.
production.
A producer credit?
Oh
Sure.
no.
You know what? I
Taking
did
our
ask Chat
jobs.
GPT what it thought of no live feeds.
What'd it say?
What is
And it said it was a bad decision because people would be upset and that it wouldn't be good for people's mental health. It like
wouldn't be good
completely
for people's
answered.
mental health.
Yeah, it like completely answered like how we've been talking about it, probably because it ripped it from the online Discord.
Yeah. I was gonna say
Ah.
like they're reading our tweets basically.
Yeah.
But isn't ChatGPT only up until November, like of last year?
Maybe it was
To get
Bing. Maybe I
information.
used the Bing thing.
Oh,
Uh,
big thing.
Bang.
Yeah,
The Bing thing.
the Bing thing. Yeah, yeah. I got to set it to creative.
Mm.
Interesting.
Make a note of that. Yeah.
All right. So
I'm only laughing because they're just like,
HOH.
what else happened this episode? Like, I don't
Yeah,
even remember. So.
I don't remember.
The bad dares were the best part of the whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to be honest. So again, I am, Lovina, if Lovina's a casual, I don't know what I am. I actually did enjoy this episode. I had not been really caught up on what was going on in between the end of last week and now. And I did feel like that there was a lot of intrigue as far as from my personal vantage point over again, there's so much intrigue with the royals, with the crown. Now, once hope is gone, that just sort of like the divorce between Koozie and Daniel and Anika.
And I found it frustrating for me because I was just like, what did Koozie do to make Anika say that she's been lying so much? All these lies that Koozie's told. I'm like, what? Where are these lies? What has she done? I feel like Koozie's just trying to play the game and not even well. And they're just like, crucifying her for like talking to the HOH about potentially not putting her up on the blog.
How did she get
terrible.
safe?
How dare she? How dare she try to save herself from going home?
Right in front of us.
First she goes up and talks to Renee on the night that she won HOH. Oh, how dare she?
She can wait till tomorrow?
Then she goes up and talks to Shanae and Claudia right in front of Daniel. The fact that she would play the game in front of her friend. Have the decency to play it behind his back like he's doing.
I know, that's a
more
thing.
Effectively, absolutely.
I don't understand why. Like, what's the difference between pulling Renee and just walking into the HOH room like a few hours later? Like, I don't understand. I just didn't understand why he was so like visually upset about like rolling his eyes with the girls. I don't know if he was playing that up to try to get like Claudia and Shanae to be like, oh yeah, we're like, we don't like her, like target her. I don't know. Yeah. It kind of worked, I guess, but yeah, it's very odd.
Taran, is this the thing where it's like, so Daniel and Anika, they know they can't beat Koozie at the end, and so they realize that they have to get rid of her, so that they are trying to like make it like, oh, we would have been loyal to her, but it was her fault that she did things that made us have to. We didn't want to do this. We took no pleasure in it, but it was her bad social game that made us have to vote her out.
Yeah, my read on it is that Daniel is playing it up, and that Daniel, because this is Daniel's game the whole season has been to, I mean, the whole thing is that they talk about this new 4-person alliance between Daniel, Anika, Claudia, and Shanae as though it is a new thing and not something that has been there for at least 1 week prior to this week, and it hasn't been something that he's been working on since probably week 2 or 3. And so I didn't get the sense that Daniel like really feels this way about Koozie, because I haven't really seen any of that in the drops, and we didn't actually get any diary rooms where he was upset with Koozie. He just talked about, this is maybe the direction my game needs to go. But for Anika, I definitely got that sense, Rob. Yeah, I think like Anika to me looked like she was playing the game that Daniel was pretending to play, which is that like she's fully bought into it. Like she's like, yeah, Koozie sucks now. She's a liar. She's my target. She's terrible at the game. I hate her, actually. And it's like, what? Why? What did she do to you? Like, yeah.
Well, this could be her learning as she's playing, right? Because she said that she doesn't really know this game very well, and she's just winging it. So I think that she's probably just thinks she's going with the flow, and this is how you played the game. But she's sadly mistaken that like Koozie's actually trying to play the game, and you're pretty much like wagging your finger at her for doing so.
Yeah. I honestly think that she's just looking for somebody to blame. She when she starts crying to her in the bathroom where Koozie's like, what's wrong? What did Renee say? What did she tell you? She was like deeply hurt by that. Like that's like genuine emotion. And I feel like she's just made Koozie her punching bag when in reality, I don't know. It's I want to empathize because like, again, I always say this, like every podcast, I don't know what it's like to be in there, and I would be an emotional wreck. I'd be worse than that. So I was just looking for someone to blame.
Well, I'm sure too. It's like, you know, Anika is having to work with the girly pops, and Daniel is encouraging this too. And Daniel has been in her ear all season long about Koozie being, too much of a threat for them to work with long term. And when those people hold your life in their hands, you start to like, okay, well, I need to do whatever I can do to get in with them. And if they're telling you the same, like Koozie's doing this, Koozie's doing that, Koozie's bad for you. You're getting that reinforced by the very people who are like hold so much power over you. And then also Daniel's not exactly like trying to explain the nuances of like, well, we need to continue to act this way, but we don't actually need to feel this way. Then yeah, I mean, that's sort of how it happens, right? It's like everyone in the house, according to Anika's perspective, is like, yeah, Koozie's been doing all this stuff. And from her perspective, and this is what's getting fed to her too, like Shania and Claudia saying like, oh yeah, Koozie, I don't know what she said to Renee, but Renee never wants to put Koozie on the block now. And so Anika, of course, thinks like, oh, she must have thrown us under the bus. What did she do? And like, it's coming from there. And then, we get to this point where it's just like, Anika, chill.
Well, and I think also because like Anika was on the walk week 1, but then after that, she hasn't really been in any sort of danger. Like, people around her have gone home or whatnot, but she's been pretty much protected by Koozie. And I think now that she doesn't have that shield and protection and everybody's kind of like every man for themselves, I think that she's kind of feeling that Koozie is just focusing on her own game and not protecting her anymore. And I think she's probably felt that she's been left out in the cold by Koozie.
Yeah, but respectfully, like, I think that Koozie has like more to protect here, where if like Anika sat up on the block on Thursday night against Ty, like nobody's voting Anika out of the house. Come on. But Koozie sits up there against Ty, and I think that like people are having the conversation like, do we take the shot against Koozie right now? Like, I mean,
they already were having the conversation.
Yeah.
So for Koozie, I definitely understand why it's much more important to her, and for Anika and Daniel, like, hey, we're one step closer to being on the block. Like, you're never going home.
Yeah, definitely.
What has to happen for Anika to go home?
Right. Like, and Anika knows this too, because she, again, like we've been saying, her and Daniel have been plotting, like, when do we turn on Koozie for weeks now. I was on a podcast like 3 weeks ago for like the digital daily drop, and they were talking about it then. So she should also know this too. And in addition to this, the way that Anika handled that conversation where I forgot what I already forgot it. It was basically like Koozie in the kitchen asking her like, oh, who said that about me? Who said that about me? And she was like, I'm not going to tell you. It's just kind of a general statement. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. It's like, look in the mirror, Anika. Like, that's how you're handling that conversation, but you're upset with Koozie for, just trying to fight for her life. It was very
and how dare she go and ask Daniel like about like what could potentially be going on since you gave her nothing, and then you just come into the billiard room to berate her for like trying to get more information that you weren't willing to tell her.
I thought the even more egregious example was Koozie walks into the bedroom and Anika very abruptly stops talking, and Koozie's like, why'd you stop talking when I entered the room? And they're like, what? No, we didn't stop talking. What do you mean? No, it's you're out of your mind. Actually, if you think about it, you completely misread the situation. We did not stop talking at all. And then she leaves, and Anika's like, oh, see what I mean about this? We're like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
I want to know what you mean.
You didn't stop talking.
It's like she's gaslighting herself.
Oh boy. All right. So.
I'm just kidding.
Well, can I ask about the girly pops that and again, as somebody who is, a casual in this Big Brother Canada world, I are the girly pops well received? Like, what's the popularity level of the girly pops? Like, because here's my sense as an outsider. I feel like that they don't have a lot of heat, and I'm surprised, because I kind of feel like if you would have told me before the season there's going to be an alliance of 3 women and they're going to be together and they're going to be kind of underdogs, I would have thought, oh, the fans are going to eat this up. The fans are going to love it. But I kind of feel like they have not a big fan base.
I don't think anybody has a big fan base.
Thank you, Taran.
I was actually thinking watching this episode, I'm like, I think that I want Ty to win. at this point, because like at least he's been like the underdog now. He's just like fighting for his life. They're trying to take shots at them. They're taking shots at each other, and like I don't know. Like yes, he was like really annoying how he's talking in the beginning, and like of course all those annoying things about Ty, but at this point he's might have surpassed them, and now I want him to kind of win. I think the most.
Okay, do you
That's
guys?
where I am right now.
Here's how I view this season, and I actually saw this on Twitter, I think yesterday, and I was like, yes, that's exactly it. I know we made references to, I'm big reference girl. We made references to the friendship in Big Brother 6 last time, but the main thing I've been thinking is if anyone here in the chat's familiar with Big Brother Over the Top, that's how this season feels.
They're the ball smashers?
I guess. What was the other one? Late Night Jamboree?
The
that's
Late
how
Night
it
Jamboree.
feels. That's really how it feels right now. Like the fan base seems
but
kind of
OTT, the
split.
fan base was like very active.
No, that's what I'm saying. If it was
Yes.
like relevant, sorry guys,
That is
it'd
true.
be comparable, but it's not. So that's why we're not really seeing like a fan base for any of the contestants.
Yeah, this is a weird season where like I feel like the alumni are more active on Twitter about the season than the fans.
Well, because they're just like, oh, we gotta try to save this show. Like nobody's watching it, so let me tweet something. Why?
Yeah, where normally you would see like random fans arguing with each other, you're seeing alumni arguing with each other and fans.
There is zero toxicity. So like if they got rid of the live feeds, well not zero, but if they got rid of the live feeds because of the toxic fans, mission accomplished, I guess. But
well,
now your
have you looked at the
engagement's
hashtag?
about
What is there is not exactly untoxic.
well, the volume of it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's
I've checked Twitter once for anything about Big Brother Canada this season, and usually I'm actually on it all day long.
Well, I mean, they solved the toxicity problem by removing the fans entirely.
Isn't that good for your mental health? Yeah.
Just don't care about the show.
Yeah.
Feel good.
They did it for as a mental health precaution.
Yeah. It's what if we made the show and nobody needed to watch it? We didn't have to deal with fans at all. We could just make the show and get paid for it.
Actually, maybe what you could use Chat GPT here and just actually create an entire Brant Steele season, and it would probably be pretty good.
Wait, can we do that? That's so. I love a Brant Steele.
It sounds good to me.
Give me 16 house guests. We input them into the Brand Steele. That's BBCAN 12. Because I don't think we're gonna get a BBCAN 12.
I thought that was BBCAN 8.
We did do that. I think someone did that.
Man, if only we had the Chat GPT technology back then.
Yeah, would have changed everything.
Would have. Well, we did get some. We got a winner's outfit. Let me tell you, in my chat on Twitch, it was a big controversy over this outfit. Big war between
War of the Winners. Yeah,
it was Chantele. It was. There were pro boots people and pro dress people. Nobody mixed. Nobody liked the whole thing. Some people loved the boots. Some people loved the dress. And the people that liked the dress, they hated the boots. And the people that liked the boots, they hated the dress. So where do we stand here?
I hate the segment.
Yeah, there you go.
I think I'm pro boots.
Yeah, I would agree. That's really all I have.
I'm gonna abstain. I was looking at the hashtag. I'm actually like Koozie. I'm shook. This is a double eviction this week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea.
But maybe it's gonna
Did
be
they say this on the show?
Not today, but they did on Thursday.
On Thursday. Okay. Oh my God.
I didn't count how many players left in the game in terms of how many episodes and evictions that are left. Is it possible that they do the same thing they did to Jed and Tara, where it's like just kind of like a revolving door for one of them?
It doesn't seem likely, but also
use those Wendy's bucks.
When they did do that, they warned us ahead of time that something was coming.
Are they just Yachty? Is this like a 42-day season? Like, I don't understand how like so many people just left randomly. We had the fatal feast last week. We have a double eviction on Thursday.
Maybe they had more doubles or like a triple. So
yeah, is the pace accelerated, Taran?
No, it's 70 days.
70 days?
But like we are not consuming as much content, so it's like zip.
Well,
Okay,
it just started. It's like over 40... in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It also helps that no one's really talking about it. So when I open my Twitter, I forget that the show's happening because no one's talking about it. And I have the hashtag pulled up here because Rob mentioned it, so I opened it as well.
How many tweets?
That's the thing. Like it says 4 minutes ago, 8 minutes ago, 9 minutes ago.
Oh, it can go hours.
So
right.
Hours.
It's crazy. And that's only because there was an episode tonight.
Oh, true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's wild.
Does it spike when the drop drops?
Yeah.
Normally, I don't even look at the hashtag for a Big Brother season because it's too fast to be relevant in any way. But now it just reads like the occasional bulletin board that somebody posts a note on.
A MySpace bulletin.
It's so slow.
It's like, oh, not relevant. Because the drops are not even relevant.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the hashtag BB25 is more active right now.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Side by side.
It's sort of like how, relationships on Big Brother, they talk about how a few weeks of being in a relationship on the show is like dating for months because of the intense, close proximity. And I feel like we're now experiencing the reverse of that. Like we are now dating Big Brother Canada, whereas before we were like living with him. And so now we're just occasionally seeing them on dates. And they're not even really putting their best foot forward, so we're not.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
It's things are, the amount of time that we spend with them is, if combined, much shorter, and I think that's part of why it feels so.
Yeah, always
quick.
On a first date with this episode, with this season. Yeah.
Just like Renee and Daniel.
Yeah.
Exactly. More fun, like asking someone out on a date, like maybe they can get a yes or no.
When Big Brother Canada says that they care about their fan base, it makes me feel like I'm Daniel and Renee is telling me that she has a crush on me. Like, okay, suspicious.
This was a whole dare. Like this whole season was a dare. Let's see what productions got dared to do this.
Maybe. We did get some Wendy's as well. Jed was there.
Jed's a Wendy's. Hottie Lamati with a swimmer's body.
Does Jed have a swimmer's body?
I don't know. How much hair does he have?
I feel like.
Well, I think a swimmer's body is usually like a really broad upper torso, and then kind of like a.
Yeah, but so swimmers got to shave everything, Chantele.
Okay, maybe was this maybe product placement for like chic razors or like?
Does Ninja make a shaver?
I wouldn't be
Vacuum
surprised.
Up all that hair.
Yeah. That's right. Should they have shaved Jed and then use the vacuum?
And get him into the pool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are we talking about?
The swimmer's body. Lovina, is that a real expression? Hottie Lamati with a swimmer's body?
I think I've
never heard it.
Well, I've heard swimmer's body, but I haven't heard the full thing.
See, Renee's got jokes for days. Hottie
I think
Lamati
Chad's saying
with
it's a Hannah
body.
Montana reference.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my god, I failed. I've
never seen it.
Hottie Lamati with the swimmer's body. Yep, that's according to Urban Dictionary, a hot guy who's very fit and swims. Originates from a Hannah Montana episode.
Okay.
I was a Sweet Life of Zach and Cody girl. I apologize.
Wow,
I'm so sorry.
Lovina, you really messed up.
I did, and I remember this, and I'm saying this because I remember my very first podcast on RHAP, I had a Hannah Montana reference. So I failed. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. Yeah. Yeah. We could overlook this. Yeah.
Maybe.
I won't.
Mm-hmm.
This is like you failed the test, but we'll still give you your points.
Should Renee have told Daniel he was a Hottie Lamati? We heard he has nice legs.
That's I mean, I feel like Koozie did a better job of convincing Daniel that she had a crush on him than Renee did.
Mm-hmm.
Go look at those legs, Daniel.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nobody knows if we have nice legs because people never see us from the waist down. People only just see just like cut off. Yeah.
I think that's what I said when I first saw you, Taran, in person. I was like, "You've got legs."
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah, I have to put some on every time we go to a live show. It's quite a hassle.
Mm-hmm.
How much should we take bets? Does Jed swim?
I don't think so. I've seen him do like a lot of his workout stuff. He's very fit and active. Like he can do like, front tucks, back tucks, like crazy push-ups and
what's the pool
circuits
situation in Canada? A lot of pools?
Where he's from is kind of like in the suburbs, and so he probably has a pool growing up for
It'd
sure.
have to be like a heated pool though, right? It's so cold.
Like indoor.
Well, the summertime, it's hot, Taran, okay?
No, it's a frigid wasteland.
Oh,
it gets super duper hot in the summer. But yeah, I'd say most suburban houses do have pools, but not really in the city. But there's going to be like YMCA type vibes. A lot of condos will have pools in there.
Okay.
I'm putting my money on can he swim? This is, does he swim for exercise? Is he a swimmer? I don't think he's a swimmer.
I don't think he's a swimmer.
Yeah.
I could see like him taking a dip, like if he was at a gym that had a pool in it. Take a dip in the pool after a workout
dip in
and then
the
go
pool
shower.
to relax doesn't
Right.
mean you're a swimmer.
Yeah, he's not
That
doing.
just means-
He's probably
yeah.
not doing laps or
Not
anything like for
laps,
exercise.
but maybe like a polo type thing, like playing some sort of like sport thing in the pool. I can see that.
a sport thing.
Yeah.
One of those
Alright, well,
sporty thingies in
Hopefully
water.
we can give you the answer to this very important question.
Do you know
in the
what?
next
Will you
podcast.
remember this, Taran?
Well, hopefully people will ask him
if we see
he's a
Jed in
swimmer.
Toronto.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
He should be. He would be around.
Jed,
most
do you
likely.
swim?
Do you do water aerobics,
Yeah.
Jed?
How
Water
much
sport?
chest hair do you have?
Yes. Are you fully?
Hey, Chad, great to see you again. Quick question though.
How aerodynamic are you?
Have you shaved your whole body?
Mhm.
Renee would like to know. We're
Yeah.
Last
asking
time you
How
for
about
said
the
Yeah.
legs?
asking for a friend. Strictly.
Oh boy. So
I was excited. I was into this. I thought that the last half wasn't as good as the first half, but I thought that there was some intrigue here about the crown falling apart, and then the idea of whether or not for Claudia and Shania to work with Daniel and Anika moving forward.
yeah, that is the big question on the minds of the girly pops, in particular Shania and Claudia. Should they go with Daniel and Danica, or should they go with Renee? Because they feel like standing in the end with Renee would mean they would lose.
Where are they getting that from?
Yeah.
I was like, what did Renee do?
Maybe this being the block star to rock star.
She couldn't even get through the Wendy's dare.
Well, they were like,
maybe
it's
there's
a
more going
big
on that you
resume.
don't see. Sorry.
there's that. Yeah. I mean, we'll never know really, but they're saying it's like a resume move if she gets rid of Ty, but like, is it really at this point? If everyone's throwing him on the block, he's bound to not win the veto at one point. It's kind of like Michael from Big Brother 24. It's like, yeah, like you got rid of him, but like you're always trying to throw him on the block anyway. So to me, that's not impressive, but I don't know. Maybe there's
Yeah,
so
I
many
mean,
excuses.
so far speaking to the jury members, I'm pretty sure that almost every single one has put her at the bottom of their list, usually with some sort of like derisive laugh or comments.
Do you
Like,
think that will change now that she's won some power?
I look, and here's the thing. It doesn't mean that she can't win the game. I think that she absolutely could, and I think they're right. I think that having a big week, taking out either Ty or even somebody like Koozie would be huge for her resume. But what I don't think is that they need to be like automatic loss if we sit next to Renee. I mean, she's basically right up there with Koozie. We just can't sit next to her. Like, no.
But like, are they counting votes? Like, how are they getting this information? Are they mean like, oh, every single person is going to be voting for Renee over all of us? Like, where are they getting these facts?
It must just be a general sense, because I think if they counted votes, they'd realize. But they probably think that. I mean, but they wouldn't. Like, it's not like Dan's gonna vote for Renee over Shania, right?
No.
And then
Not
like
Ty wouldn't even if Ty is out of the game.
Ty certainly wouldn't. We know he hates Renee. It's like maybe they think that Hope would, because Hope theoretically had a good relationship with Renee, but Hope's response to Renee was Negatron. So that's not happening.
That's a good one.
And
Is that Hannah Montana also? Did she do
Maybe.
Megatron?
Jonathan basically had no relationship with Renee whatsoever. He had a much better relationship with Claudia. So I think Claudia would definitely want to count his vote over Renee. And then there's the people left in the game. They have a much better relationship with both Daniel and Anika than Renee does. They have a better relationship with Koozie than Renee does. And Ty too. Like, I don't know who they think other than Hope. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they think Hope has influence or something. I don't know.
Or maybe they don't know how like the
you never know what kind of socks he might have on him.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Sometimes you just get in your own head, and I'm sure that this is something else that like is being played up in the house as well. That like, oh yeah, I can't go to the end with Renee. It's interesting how easily you can really influence the sort of perception of things in a game like this, where there's not a lot of people outside of your own little society.
Well, maybe it's kind of what they're doing to Koozie is like just putting a new target in line. So like, you know, if Koozie is a target, Ty is a target, and like next, if they get both of those two people out, then we can have Renee be the next target. So that maybe, you know, the Daniels and the Anikas are not going to come from them two. They're going to come from Renee first. So maybe they're doing that, being like, oh, she's a big threat. Let's get her out next. Maybe.
Well, I'm sure part of it too is that like this probably spawned from Claudia and Shania reinforcing their like pair bond with each other in the same way that Daniel and did it with Anika, where it was like, hey, Koozie beats us both. And that was true, but it was also an effective way to get Anika to be like, yeah, linking up, I'm a duo with Daniel and Koozie's on the outs. So there's incentive for Shania and Claudia to tell each other, yeah, Renee beats us both, so let's make sure we take each other. Whether that's true or not, we know it probably isn't. But I could see where if they've been telling each other that for long enough, and then she goes and wins an HOH like this and now has a big move, it's like, oh, this is really going to solidify that idea. And it becomes truth to them, even though it might have started as just kind of like a way to reinforce their duo.
Yeah. And also both those girls considered Renee at one point to potentially be the invisible HOH. So their trust with her is already quite rocky, and it's like they're looking for an excuse to just shed her off, I guess.
A lot of people have compared the Crown and their failure in the game to Faute. But if you think about it, the girly pops are actually a bit more like Faute.
Faute versus Faute.
They've won a lot of comps, but now they're targeting each other.
Yeah. Taran is very upset about this.
The
return of Faute, a double Faute in the season.
Who flipped?
Oh my God.
Renee flipped.
Please. Look what she's done to Taran. The Crown.
She zapped the water.
And the girly pops. Yeah.
Oh God.
I couldn't finish that sentence.
Fun watching you try.
The man has done 9,000 updates by himself, but this is broken.
Oh boy. I do also want to briefly talk about just to go back to them getting the points, even though they failed the dare. Is this the call? Is this just what happens? Because again, I don't think we've seen anybody fail a task before, but the fact that they got the points anyway was like, what are we even doing then?
Okay, can we go to spoilers?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. Instead of the spoilers, I gotta play something else. Okay. Instead of the spoiler sounds, we're gonna play something else. Okay.
Breaking news are happening now.
All right. I want to bring in now. Now I got the hashtag open. Okay. I'm following the hashtag. And I see this gem in my timeline. I want to go ahead and bring in a tweet here from BB Extra on Twitter. Clock this. Okay. Now, again, the real stuff is always in the likes. Okay. So check this out. BB Extra at Big Brother Extra. Give them the credit. They clocked this. Look at this screenshot. Wendy's Canada liked a tweet that says, do you think Koozie's at Wendy's Canada points will save her this week? And Wendy's liked it.
Oh.
Wendy's likes everything, though. They interact like with every alumni, every like current house guest account. They're loving, whoever's running that account's loving this attention. So I don't know if we can look too much into that. I mean, I'd be down. I mean,
who says no? Who says no?
Not
Wendy's
me.
points saves Koozie?
It's too sus.
No, it's suspicious.
Yep.
Yeah, suspicious. I mean, I think Wendy's is
That's
probably
the
just having
beauty,
some...
Chantele. Nobody's watching. The perfect crime.
That's true. That's true. They can get away with this. You'd be like, you saw nothing. You literally saw nothing.
Mhm.
I don't think it's going to be happening. I wouldn't mind it, to be honest, just because like I
Does
find
she have the most Wendy's points?
I believe so.
Because
Because most
Well,
people
what are
think
they
gifting it to
for?
her, I think.
Baby.
What are they for? Are they
Saving
gonna like?
Koozie.
But like, I'm saying, if it's not this,
Maybe
then
it's part
what?
of the double eviction. No, she would be, well, we'll see.
Yeah. There
I'm
is
going through Wendy's tweets and they're
Oh.
talking about the band Emery. And I'm like, wait a minute. When did Wendy's get cool?
Yeah. And once they save Koozie, look, I'm gonna go full Australian Survivor here. All right.
Oh.
Big Brother Canada 11. They have 1 star on this show, and her name is Koozie. She's carrying this show on her back right now. We cannot lose her at the final 7.
It's true. They
Put it
should
into
save her.
existence.
Maybe, yeah, maybe it will be something like the Jay and Tara thing, and they're not letting us know because they want to just surprise us and in the episode. And so maybe they're gonna have to use their points as part of the double eviction, and she'll be able to come back in some sort of way.
Yeah. Okay, Taran, if Koozie gets saved by Wendy's points on Thursday night, is your head gonna explode, or will you?
I don't think he'll
everything that's happened this season.
Fine with it.
Like, you'll be fine.
I don't think he'll care.
Why would I care?
We
Who's
haven't
mad?
cared this whole time.
Lovina, who says no? Who's upset about this?
Like I said, not me.
Some person who's already acting like a lunatic on Twitter. Just give the people what they want.
Well, because, okay, here's my thing. Is like,
It's
again,
professional wrestling.
if they don't use it for this is prime opportunity. Or are they gonna like tell them at finale, oh yeah, by the way, all those Wendy's points, you can claim those as part of your stipend. That turns into Wendy's gift cards, and you can reload your gift card with the points.
Yeah, we're
And
years
Yeah.
worth of Wendy's.
That's what I
Listen,
swear.
yay.
That's what it's
If
gonna
you
be.
want a Big Brother Canada 12, save Koozie on Thursday night.
I mean,
Because when you have a finale and we're looking at Claudia and Anika in the final 2,
God.
you're going to be wishing you saved Koozie.
I'm seeing here Koozie will need a miracle to say, can we get Wendy's points to work? Somebody said Wendy's Canada said it was a game-changing advantage, and then Wendy's Canada replied, we said what now?
They're giving it away.
Okay.
Why do you think they had to make them get Wendy's points, even though
right before the double eviction.
Renee didn't
True.
complete the dare?
Here's my question though, because the Wendy's points actually I think they gave something away here. Why give everyone 5,000 Wendy's points if the whole point is that one person needs to have the most? Because if you give everyone 5,000 Wendy's points, it literally is completely meaningless if you're only looking for the top Wendy's point getter, which indicates to me that they're probably going to be spending these Wendy's points probably on food.
I'm hungry.
Are there have-nots going on right now?
Here's the game-changing advantage for the Final 4 HOH. The person with the most Wendy's points is going to get the most amount of Wendy's food in their belly to fuel them for victory.
Stop.
Oh, I hate this voice, Darren. I hate that voice.
Wendy's announcer.
Look, I would not complain one bit if they did this on Thursday.
Well, how could they do it?
Well, they have a double eviction planned too, so.
Oh.
And like, what if she goes in like the second
the
part
first
of it?
part, but then they use the points. So who would she gift the points to then?
Daniel, I think.
Yeah.
No, they got to introduce it for the first one.
Well, maybe,
cancel the eviction.
Cancel the first eviction. Yeah.
Or they make her HOH. They save her, and then she's the HOH.
Maybe. She probably just targets Santina again, though.
Yep. Sun's out, freshly toasted buns out. That's what Wendy's Canada is saying now. But what will they be saying on Thursday?
Man. I'm hungry now.
Look, this would be. Yeah. I'm looking at. I was reading Wendy's Twitter account, and then I read my name. But that was from when they tweeted at me a couple of weeks ago. Me and Wendy, I'm going to Wendy's in Canada when I'm there in 2 weeks.
I don't even know where one is. Like, I'm trying to think of where one is in the area.
I'm finding one. I'm getting on the app. I'm going to take all the Wendy's points.
It would be like a food court thing, I would say. I just can't picture one right now.
I don't think I can either, to be fair.
And unlike Anika's waffles, they're not tasteless at Wendy's.
Actually, I feel like Wendy's is on like the highway when you're driving from Toronto to Montreal. So on like pit stops or route stops or whatever along the highway. But I can't think of one in city right now. But we'll get you some Wendy's for sure.
They have liked a lot of Save Koozie tweets. It's like their entire likes page is littered with Save Koozie tweets, which is maybe not the best idea if you know that's not happening.
Do you think it's not happening, Taran? Well, what's your percentage chance? You think it's a 0% chance it's happening?
I don't think it's 0% chance, but I'd say it's like a 2% chance.
2%? No, we'll get it up there.
Wow, that's low.
That's low.
I just like, how do they fit it in with the double eviction?
What if they used it for the veto? Because remember, like
during the double, but that still doesn't say
no,
Koozie.
Beforehand, the one that's happening right now, right? Because like it seems like it's something where you had to purchase certain things, right? So maybe they were using their
maybe it was used in the veto. You're saying?
Yeah.
It's possible. Although, did they talk? I feel like did Koozie and Daniel talk about it today on the drop? I feel like they might have talked about their points because Daniel mentioned, are you going to admit that John Michael gave you his points? And she said, yeah, I'll admit it.
Okay. So you're saying there's a chance?
Well, I'm saying there's a chance that the points were already used. During the veto.
They were using this veto. I know it was there was time as well, but like maybe they could bid on certain things or bet on certain things for certain points, whatever, or certain bucks.
Well, if that's the case, the social media manager needs to log out.
Yeah. Okay. How about this? Okay. So here is Amal from this season. Okay.
Who?
Tweeted at Wendy's Canada, if you help Koozie this week, I'll name my firstborn Wendy. And Wendy's Canada said, promise?
Interesting.
I feel like Wendy's is reneeing us right now. They're saying Koozie is the last person I would not save. I would save Koozie in a heartbeat, absolutely. And then they're gonna be like, oh, sorry, Koozie actually she botched that veto competition. So what can we do?
Wendy's Canada, we treat our tweets like our beef, fresh and Canadian. What does that mean?
Is that their actual line?
Yes.
I thought you made that up for a second, then I looked to the right.
No, that's true.
It's a great bio.
Okay. All right. I think it's 50-50.
Nah.
I actually wouldn't be upset. I don't think that
nobody would. You know who'd be upset?
There are people that would be upset.
Yeah. Burger King, McDonald's, Five Guys, Tim Hortons, every other franchise that's not Wendy's Canada, baby. The hottest franchise. Big Brother fans, go to Wendy's Canada. Go get a Baconator.
Yes.
Support
Frosty.
Wendy's Canada. Save Koozie. Get your Wendy's points. Have a Frosty.
That sounds
we can
so
do
good.
this.
That sounds incredible right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if we get enough of us together, like really to protest here, maybe we can urge Wendy's to be like, hey, BBCAN production, like let's give the people what they want and let's save Koozie.
Give us what we want.
Yes, good TV.
They can't even give us live feeds. You think they're gonna save Koozie?
Yes.
They can easily. This is my thing. It's like they can easily rig the season, especially because we don't have live feed. So
Mm-hmm.
I said it.
But she's going home on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Wendy.
I mean, she
It's up to
messed up her
you.
game. I actually think that she might have messed up her game when she wanting to get Zach out of the game. Like, yes, we know that these people were pretty awful, and but don't leave the target that everybody wants out of the game in the game, and you take care of people that are actually going to be a threat to your win. I would want to do that. And so the fact that she kind of took out 2 people that everybody wanted out of the house and left people in that are actually end up targeting her, I think that it was just 2 missed opportunities to at least have people in the game that is a target outside of herself. So Zach and Cesternino were 2 people that I'm like, man, you should have kept those people in the game. Everybody wanted them out. You don't need to do their work for them. You take out somebody else. So I think that she messed up from a long time ago.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. Yeah, we are deep into spoilers here. Of course.
Yeah. We got the breaking news. That was the spoiler song.
Yeah, that was it. That was in lieu of the spoiler song.
Yeah, so
sorry if we spoiled anybody.
If you haven't caught on yet, Ty does in fact win the veto. Koozie is now on the block in his place. She apparently was seconds from beating Ty and had taken a temptation of $1,000, which cost her the veto win here.
Ooh, she bet it wasn't 1,000 Wendy's points. Do we know if it was 1,000 Wendy's points?
It was, I think, $1,000, but yeah.
What does that translate to? What's the conversion rate?
I think we said it was like 1/10, right? 1/10 of a cent per point.
Hey, that's gonna be enough to put her over the top. OTT.
So yeah, it's not looking great.
But also, can I say that these stupid idiots that they also none of them can beat Ty in the veto the rest of the way.
What if he won? What if Ty wins this season?
Yeah, I'm with Chantele. If they pull out Koozie, I hope Ty wins. How about that?
Yeah, my order would be Ty, then Daniel,
then
Claudia.
I also have Claudia on my draft team. So.
Anika, and then Shania, I think is the order of people. And if I forgot anybody, that person is last.
I ranked Shania first in my preseason just off of those really short Jed interviews and those YouTube videos. So if Shania wins, then I'm gonna brag about that for years to come. But that's my only.
Do you feel good about it though? Do you feel like your predictions were true, or do you feel like she just turned out to win?
Doesn't matter.
The second one, it doesn't matter, but it is the second one.
there's levels of feeling really full of yourself. One is oh, I just barely managed to get through that one, and then one is yeah, I'm a genius.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be saying I'm a genius, but it's more so in the middle. I mean, come on, you know me. But I also had, I'm pretty sure my top 3 were Shania, Koozie, and Daniel. So I'm in it. I'm in it, baby.
Yeah. All right. Yes. So, apart from Wendy's points coming into play here, it is looking like this is curtains for Koozie. There's only 4 votes. Shania and Claudia alone make 2, with Renee as the tiebreaker. Even if Daniel decided to turn on Anika, which he's not, it's still not there. The girly pops would need to change their minds and want Anika out over Koozie, which
what's Ty doing? Is Ty voting for Anika?
Ty wants Anika out, but he's the only one.
Yeah,
I think it would be fun though to make Renee break the tie. That would be good.
She doesn't want to break the tie.
Not,
she actively was worried about breaking the tie. She thinks that Koozie's going to be very bitter and campaign against her in the jury, and so she didn't want to have to stand up there and break a tie. Although that may have changed now that they're actively enemies now, according to Renee. That there's something happened after the nomination, and now Renee has lost all respect for Koozie.
So, do you think that the Wendy's points is just going to be like a veto, or do you think that Koozie will pick the replacement nominee?
Just a full-on coup, it's the have-not room power, right? Just coup d'etat.
Maybe it's okay, you get safety without power. Koozie, you are safe for the entire double eviction because you have the most Wendy's points. Go sit in the diary room for the entire. You won't even know what happened. You won't even get a vote in the double eviction.
The Wendy's points are: you have now earned yourself a spot in the final two. You are
okay.
They could do that. Like, they could just do that. You know what I'm saying? Like this season, like I don't know.
Where's
Go
Bel Air
for it.
Direct? Like, let's get Bel Air Direct come back
Yeah,
here.
why
I know
is this like one sponsor get to do whatever they want, and Wendy's can't even save the most popular player in the house?
well, she didn't ever win a safety vote.
Take a vote on the hashtag right now.
Like 12 people.
Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna tweet to Wendy's Canada right now.
Ooh, live tweet.
Live.
Yeah, well, let me see.
Right now.
Wendy's Canada, like, you're our only hope this week. You know what to do.
Like
I
this.
can't wait for the rest.
Hashtag BBCAN11. Almost forgot.
Boost that trend.
Okay.
I like the idea of not hashtagging BBCAN11.
Yeah.
what do you
I
want-
don't have the time.
Yeah, people would have forgot what to do.
What do we know what to do? What do you?
You know what to. They can't come out and say it.
See if they like it.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty pumped up for Thursday now.
There we go.
I mean, I'm hoping to
These were
see
right.
these Wendy's Bucks if they come into play this week. That's interesting. I don't want to see Koozie to go home, though. I really don't. I mean, I know that she's made some mistakes. The fact that, she seems like she went for a temptation over this veto, and I'm just like, why? Like, why? Like, I don't even understand in any world why she would do that. I still don't want her to go. I don't want them to have one up on her here. But
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, assuming Koozie does leave, the double eviction is kind of interesting. You've got Ty, Daniel, and Anika versus Claudia and Shania in the HOH competition with, I believe at this point, for as much as they finally caught us up on the Daniel, Anika, Claudia, Shania alliance, as far as we know, Daniel and Anika currently plan to betray that alliance as soon as possible and not actually target Ty. So they will be working with Ty to try to attack the Girly Pops in the double eviction. And the Girly Pops will, of course, be targeting Ty. So it should be interesting.
Is it just me, or I want Ty to win the top of the
I kind of do too.
It's not. Look, don't get it twisted, people. It's not like, oh, Ty is a great guy, we want him to win. But sometimes the people that are being dumb need to learn a lesson.
Also, like, we're bored.
Mhm.
Period.
I think it'd be maybe a little rough to have Ty be the one to take out Claudia. I think that'd be a little rough, but
They should go to the final two together.
I don't want that. Like, we didn't get any hand holding though. How do you feel about that, Taran? Are you upset?
No more hand holding, but there's some cuddling here and there. They're still at it.
Didn't show it on the episode. I'm shocked.
Yeah. So it's I mean, this is the thing about this week in Big Brother, and why this episode was like they really just had to play up this like old drama of the Shady Bunch, is that like Ty is like, yeah, I'm not gonna campaign, who cares, and now Koozie on the blog is saying, yeah, I'm not gonna campaign, I'm gonna have them campaign for my jury vote. It's a very straightforward sort of week, unfortunately.
It almost feels like Ty wants to get put up onto the block. Like he
doesn't care. He'll win the veto.
Yeah,
Right,
he
that's
has
what he
confidence in
wants.
himself. He's like, whatever, put me up, I'll just win. And it's been working for him. It's
I know.
It's kind of like, I don't know, I had to buy into it a little bit.
I love the scene when he was in the bed and it was Claudia was like, hey, you're gonna talk to Renee. He's like, maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll talk to her. Like, I'm not talking to her, but I'm not gonna talk to her about the game. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, as of right now, Daniel is looking at Ty, at least this is what he said to Koozie, as his best path to the end. He's hoping that he can get Ty to take him to the final two, and then he can beat Ty. which he probably would. But
Does Ty
Ty
get any votes at all?
against Daniel, it depends. I could see him
Look at
getting
Dan.
Dan.
Even if Ty stands there and it's like, hey, I won 8 veto competitions. That
Hope might
people,
respect that.
yeah, especially in this jury.
The crown will all vote Daniel.
isn't yeah.
The crown's all voting Daniel, so that's automatically 4 votes. Koozie told Daniel, when I'm in the jury, I'm going to be fighting so hard for you, no matter who you're against, including Ty. And with Koozie's influence plus the automatic 4 locked votes with the crown, I think it's just it's a very very low shot that.
Why would Koozie tell him that? She'd be like, "Oh, okay, great. I'm gonna put you in the jury then." Like,
Yeah.
So
Why does Koozie do anything at this point?
So much faith and hope.
However, we did. Koozie does feel like Ty would win over any of the girly pops, and she would probably be campaigning for that. And he may have a shot against Anika as well. So Ty's not out of this.
Yeah. And who does Ty want to go to the end with?
We don't know. I mean, he told Koozie he wanted to go to the end with her. Whether that was true or not, I don't know. But now she's leaving, so now I don't know.
Yeah.
He wants Anika out because he knows she's a goat for everyone. So, I think he probably feels like if he comps his way to the end, he can just beat anybody. So he might just go ahead and want to take Daniel. Or maybe he'll change his mind and take Claudia. Who knows at this point?
But then does Claudia win? Because I'm not so sure.
No, I think Ty beats Claudia right now.
Yeah.
Which would be even worse. I mean, now we're veering into like oof territory.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Oh no.
She tried to take her shot, misses, gets taken by her ex-showmans to the end, and
But what if they got
loses?
back together at the final 2?
Well, they'd be holding hands, like doing their speeches.
Be exciting.
Right?
Be exciting.
I don't know if I want
like
that.
Maybe like a live proposal.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Arissa reads the 5th vote, and Claudia says, "Wait! I've got something to ask Ty."
Not Claudia.
Yes.
I'm assuming Ty wins in this scenario.
Yes, Claudia.
Ty, will you tie the knot?
Ooh.
Oh no.
Was that you or ChatGPT?
No, I know. ChatGPT doesn't have that gold ready to go.
That's their wedding hashtag on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Mhm.
No.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Well, this was interesting.
Fun times.
We did the best we could.
I feel like we were playing like Jackbox games together right now. Like, I thought
Yeah,
it
this
fun.
was fun.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I didn't mind the episode. I thought that these episodes have been, fun. And again, like maybe I'm sort of like the person that I talk about, like with Survivor, that the person who might be the least invested with it is like having the most fun because it's just like, okay, I'm here for the vibes. All right, and so I've been enjoying all these episodes that I've been watching.
There you go.
You're like, you're yes, just you.
I think
No,
I think we're happy for you, Rob.
Yeah. So
Honestly, like, just to be like totally real, I was on like probably 2 weeks ago, I was like pretty high on the season, but it just kind of like tapered off for me personally. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just me. It seems like it's not though.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I do think that I think the Rob is right. I think the less invested you are, the more fun it is overall, because it's like
goofy and like
it doesn't have the content to support the level of investment that you would want out of a Big Brother season.
But Taran, just to like bring it back to like where I spend more of my podcasting time is talking about Survivor, and I feel like that has been very much the complaint about Survivor here, especially here in the new era, where I think that a lot of people like that, I hear from like my mom and people from like, oh yeah, this is a great Survivor season, and I know that people who are really looking at it from, hey, I really want to understand the game and what's happening, are really frustrated. Now, Survivor never had live feeds, except for if you're out there, then the live feeds are very interesting. But otherwise, you're sort of just relying on what you get in terms of the show. But really, it's just like if you're there for the vibes, I think Survivor is a lot more fun.
Yeah, I agree. Survivor also gives lots of sound bites that are good.
Sometimes,
That's mostly
yeah.
my perspective. When I pop into episodes, I always enjoy it. Like Survivor, that is. Like if I pop into an episode, I'm like, this is great. And I get on Twitter, I'm like, paragraphs, hashtag Survivor 44. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe I shouldn't say anything.
I think part of it too is the pacing. Like Survivor is one episode a week and you get an eviction or a vote out every episode. Like the pacing of Big Brother was designed with live feeds in mind, with like a level of investment that is so much deeper than just watching the show, sort of in mind. And so without that sort of like, again, to support the weight of the show, it kind of stumbles a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But you know.
Well, when I was watching today, I was just kind of like, do I like this? I just was like, I'm just trying to figure out like what is it about the show that I enjoy, and I think that that's what the issue is for me. Just being a little more invested in is that like it is the live feeds. It always has been the live feeds. I was more invested in the live feeds than the actual TV show. So when I'm watching just the show, I'm just like, okay, this is what it is now, and I'm just like I just don't care that much, and so I don't know if I actually like the TV show. You know,
I was thinking
like,
the same thing. Me too. I was like, is this a chore? It's like, is this kind of a chore to watch the episodes? When I didn't feel that way like 2 weeks ago. So
it's not a chore, it's a dare.
Dare.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a dare.
I failed. I failed.
I don't know. There was no challenge overall. I felt like that there was a bunch of like I felt like that the TV show did a good job of like framing like what the alliances are in the house. So I felt like that for me, like it was an episode that was like good at setting up like where things are at with, we had the gummy bears of basically, there's these 4 people over, or these people over, these 3 people over here, these 3 people over here, Ty is in the middle. And so, like what are things going to be from here?
Mm-hmm.
Was that in tonight's episode? I watched like 3 episodes today. Was that in tonight's episode?
I was like, gummy bears? I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
The gummy bears weren't in tonight's
okay,
episode,
I watched them all. I watched them all today, but I was enjoying them. Maybe it's better on a binge. Maybe
actually a binge might be.
I'm sure it would be
a little bit better because I don't care enough to like be like anticipating the next episode. But if I'm watching 3 in a row, I'd be like, oh, what happens next? So it might be better on a binge for sure.
Boring seasons are usually better on a binge than even like boring seasons. Like we talked about this with season 7, where it's like you could go back and watch BBCAN11 on a binge, and like you get to enjoy all the highlights and all of the like funky weird moments, Adam crying, Poutine Poppy, like without all of the downtime of like this has been a very stable, like steady thing for the most part. And so I think they benefit more than like an exciting season where it's like season 6 or something like that, where it's like so good all the way through and you miss all of that.
I think there's only 5 episodes left, right?
Wow.
Is that true? We got 2 more this week.
No, 2 more. Is it
3 more next
7?
week?
Is
it 3
8?
more again.
Okay, well,
so yeah, probably.
Okay, I thought we were going to Canada next week. Oh my god.
The week after, fun.
Sorry.
Like,
I was at the dentist today.
Are you still a little
bit
drowsy? A
little bit.
Well, we will be live in Toronto on May 11th for the finale of Big Brother Canada 11. That was on purpose, I bet. 11 ends in the 11th. And that'll be fun. It'll be fun to be there in person reacting to the finale. We'll put on a show, Rob. There's going to be alumni there.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of alumni there. I don't think we're prepared for the amount of alumni that are going to be there. Like, I don't want to like give it an official like list and like you said so, like, but I feel like we're like looking at like 30, 40 Big Brother Canada alumni. I think are going to be there.
That's awesome.
I didn't tell you this, Rob, but where Arissa and I went to middle school and high school is across the street. So we'll actually like be able to see them as we like kind of walk to different places. We can see our schools. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's right there. It's where I grew up.
So don't miss it. Go to robswebsite.com/Toronto to get your tickets while they are still available and while there's still time to plan a trip to Toronto because you're running out of time.
Running out of time.
But we've got that going on. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow night for tomorrow night's episode. Let me tell you, I think that tonight's episode should be the worst episode of the week because the veto episode should be more interesting. There was drama with Renee and Koozie and the Girly Pops, and that decision was a lot more important than these noms were locked immediately. And so that should be more interesting. And then, of course, the double eviction should be good as well. So I think there's reason to look forward into the future with some hope in terms of entertainment for the show. And of course Survivor as well. Rob's gonna be talking about Survivor tomorrow night. Should be a good time. We finally got a good episode of Survivor last week. Maybe we'll get
a really interesting vote at the last Survivor episode, and now we're at the final 9, and we're gonna have the first final 9 vote on Survivor for the first time since Winners at War, presumably. So check out everything we have to say after Survivor on Wednesday night.
Yes, and you can of course listen to the Survivor Stock Watch podcast that will drop later in the week, probably on Friday or Saturday. We'll rate the players. It'll be a good time. You can find me on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong. Watching these episodes live with all of you, including the double eviction itself, should be a blast. So make sure you come and hang out during the double eviction on Thursday at the Twitch channel. Yeah, that's what I got. Lovina, what do you got going on?
Just talking some Big Brother at LPavs on Twitter. You can follow me there.
All right, Chantele.
And you can always find me on Instagram at ShanFranFran or on my YouTube channel, Reality Realness with 3 S's.
All right. And Rob, anything else?
I want to say that later on tonight on Tuesday, I have a very fun podcast that I'm dropping, of course, with Jenny, Autumn, and I. We have a podcast called Hit or Quit, where we're watching a different reality show each week, and we keep watching it if it's a hit, and we switch to something else if we need to quit. And so we watched the Freevee original Jury Duty.
Oh,
we watched
that's
the
a good
first
one.
4 episodes. Have you seen that, Taran?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes,
good
it's very fun. We watched the first 4 episodes, which I believe was the first drop of Jury Duty, and it's a modern day Joe Schmo show, which Chappelle and I once upon a time covered with Melissa Denny. Joined us to do a full recap of the Joe Schmo show during the COVID times. And so we're going to have that podcast coming up later on Tuesday night. So check that out as we talk about Jury Duty by popular demand.
Rightfully so. It's a good one. There's 8 episodes, so you're halfway
8
through.
episodes. Yeah, I think we're that next time out we'll do the back 4.
Yeah. That's don't you quit. Jury Duty.
We're not going to quit. We're not going to spoiler alert. We're not going to quit.
All right. Well, that's what we have for you tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us. Hopefully, you don't point a fake finger at Renee.
Don't ever point a fake finger at me. Ever.
And we will see you next time.